welcome back to the World Crisis Bureau. A very interesting report. And again, maybe what Occupy Wall Street needs is a labor committee to handle relations with the unions. Very interesting idea. So I wonder, do we have our guest now for this segment? Okay, wonderful. I'm very happy to now be able to bring you from the source of a lot of this stuff, from Madrid and from Spain, the land of the Indignados, who are cited so frequently as the source of this method of the straitjacket and the Procrustean bed, as we have called it. And this is now our honored guest is Pilar Baselga, who is in Spain, and she is the author, the sponsor of a very interesting blog called No Morir Idiota, Don't Die an Idiot. In other words, figure out something before you die. And it's basically a very important article about the methods of manipulating and sabotaging the movement of the Indignados that had all kinds of potential. They could have brought down Zapatero. They could have stopped the International Monetary Fund, the European Central Bank, and the European Commission with that bunch of fascists there. But no, they had to spend all their time in these assemblies. So, Pilar, are you there?
Yes, here I am.
Wonderful. Welcome. We're so happy to have you. Now, we have about 20 minutes, so our basic method is, I've read this very interesting article. Can you give our listeners a summary of this, remembering that most of them don't know too much about what happened in Spain back in May and June, as I understand it?
Yes. Well, all these, as far as I know, I was very, as everybody, enthusiastic about this movement, you can imagine. And we went there to the main square, in Madrid called Puerta del Sol, right? And
right.
This is where a big demonstration started in May 15th. That's why it has given the name to the movement. May 15M is the name of the movement, right? And then we went there to demonstrate, etc. And then we started participating in, myself and friends, in these assemblies. And we started noticing that it was very strange, that it was always, there were some, what you call in your article, facilitators who were in a way directing the talks, directing the issues to discuss. And it was just talk and long talks about nothing, and it was very disappointing. And then we started walking around this camp that was prepared, and I went there with some friends who were actually working in the army and said, this has been made by militaries. It's a military organization. So I started taking pictures and talking to people, and it was very strange that they have an incredible infrastructure. I mean, this was not at all a spontaneous movement. It was prepared, it was organized, it was directed. They had lots of, they had food, they had electricity, they have generators for electricity, and nobody knew where it was coming from, I was asking people, where did you get your Wi-Fi antenna and all these computers and everything they had there in the middle of the square? And they said, people collaborating with the movement. And I said, I can't trust this, And then they started bringing water and food from, nobody knew where all this stuff was coming from, right? And,
it's fascinating. Let me just interject. What we've learned here at Occupy Wall Street is that there's a secret steering committee, and a lot of these people seem to be military. That is, they're either active duty or recently retired U.S. military who are actually the steering committee behind the scenes, behind the General Assembly.
Exactly. So I don't know what is the purpose. You might know it better because you are there. But here, what the purpose was to channel the dissent. This is, to me, the purpose. I mean, with the crisis that, as you know, has been designed, it's not a natural crisis. It has been designed by those who run the world, right? And what they wanted is to channel the dissident, the dissent. You understand what I mean? Yes?
Exactly. Channeling dissent.
And so they focused young people in don't vote, right? But in Spain, this was like a week before the general elections. Not the general, the regional, for the different communities. You know, we have a kind of a federation, and there were some elections. So what happened is that after this week of camp and talks and assemblies and movement of indignados, what happened is the right won everywhere in Spain, as it has never happened. And the left lost completely everything. So it was pretty surprising to discover that a movement which purpose is to bring more democracy, apparently, actually it was working for the extreme right and the right. So that's why I am absolutely sure that this has been manipulated. And then talking with other friends and other people who were also very worrying about this, they were talking about an American guy who was Vlad Teichberg. This guy
Can we spell his name? Vlad?
Vlad, like Vladimir, you know, the Russian name, V-L-A-D. Teichberg is T-E-I-C-H-B-E-R-G. No, G. Teichberg. Okay. And I looked in internet, and this guy is sort of also an activist. But he was seen in a flat that was in the old town of Madrid, working with a team of young people, and they were on Facebook all day, you know, and Twitter and all these nets, to send messages and actually to control what was designed and decided during the assemblies. Very funny things happen. I mean, there was general assemblies, they had to vote some issues, and the result of the assembly was published in a newspaper, El País, which is the biggest newspaper in Spain, before it was voted. Can you imagine this?
So El País had the news before the poor dupes.
Exactly, before it was voted.
Ones in the General Assembly knew it.
Yeah, it's amazing. So of course, El País director and president of the group is Mr. Cebrián, who is a Bilderberg. He goes for these 12 last years to all the meetings of Bilderberg, right? So you can see what this is about. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. It's very, very interesting what is happening. But I'm very happy to talk to you so that we might bring some light to American people, and they see that they don't have to be manipulated. They have to don't trust. And to me, the first let's say clue, okay, to find what is going on is if you have a lot of information on the mass media. This is the meaning. This means that it's working for those who run the world, right? So the Indignados movement had an incredible following by the press and the TVs, and when I saw this, I say, this is not what we think. There is something underneath that we have to investigate. That's why I went there and took pictures and denounced, and let me ask
you now, at the end of all of this, at the end of all the general assemblies and the talking and the facilitators and everything, what really did they accomplish? I mean, we've just said that one of the things they did was they created a backlash in the form of these right-wing and, I suppose, neo-fascist parties winning.
The neo-fascists were behind. What else
did they accomplish?
They channeled the dissent. This is fantastic. I mean, what they accomplished is that the right and extreme right won the elections. This is what they wanted, right? They want to destroy the sovereign states, okay? A little bit more. It is already done. To me, it's even not necessary, because the President Zapatero and the head of the opposition.
Our music tells us the segment is over. We're going to be back in 3 minutes. Please stay with us. So stay on the line. That's a minute on World Public Radio.